everybody. Welcome back to Two Nerds and a Podcast. Today we are once again joined by our very special guest, Wyatt.
It's me. I'm the podcast. It's Two Nerds and a Podcast today. It's me. I'm the podcast.
He is the podcast. Today we're going to be talking once again about Arcane, but maybe we'll actually talk about more than just our favorite characters on Arcane. Last time we got very sidetracked, which honestly is normal for this podcast, but
yeah, it may happen again. We'll see.
Oh yeah, it will definitely divert for one reason or another. I don't know what specifically we wanted to talk about Arcane. I mean, I think it's a great show.
Yeah. I need to rewatch it.
Hold on, I'll take care of this. Much like Jinx and my phone, recordings of other stuff on my PC are starting to clog the memory banks.
Oh, I know, same. I really need to sit and edit. My brain has been like, you're tired. You can't do that right now.
Nap time.
Yeah. And next week's only going to be worse with Thanksgiving.
That's because it's dark.
It is dark outside.
4.
We need to get rid of friggin' daylight savings.
We were supposed to, and then Congress hasn't said yes or no. We voted yes.
Okay, so last time I guess we talked about how we found Arcane, right?
Mm-hmm, we did.
Yeah.
Casey, it was your friend just said, "Have you seen this yet?" while she was tattooing you or something.
Oh, no, it's my tattoo artist friend.
Yeah.
But we watched it together. We started together.
And then Jamie only watched it because I dragged her over to the monitor by her hair and smashed her face against it and said, "You look at it!
Watch this!
You will look at it!
You look at it!
Look at it!" And then me, I got it on a recommendation from a coworker. So, we talked favorite characters.
We did. Okay, so last time, I love how when we were talking about favorite characters, besides just the characters on Arcane, that my character choice was the most normal out of the three of us, which is really weird because I feel like I normally don't have any normal taste in most people.
Really? Because all you
Same.
how? All you like hairy dads. What's wrong with that?
You do. You like the dads for sure.
But like normally,
not just the dads, the old hairy dads.
But like normally, like I remember, especially like it depends, I guess, what group of friends I'm in. Because like with you guys, we can all be very unhinged about not only character choice, but how we feel about that character, which I love. But like I remember talking with certain friends and things like that, and then I would say my favorite character, and they'd just be like, "Why?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, why?" But I realized that besides just the category of hairy dads, I also tend to like my favorite characters tend to either be the dad or the perv. There's like no in between for me. Like every single fandom, it's either the dad or the perv.
I could see that for you.
Oh, is this Dean in Supernatural we're talking about?
Yes.
When you say the perv?
The perv.
I don't know if I would call him a
Sanji.
perv. I don't know if I'd call him Dean a perv. I'd just call Dean horny.
Yeah. He's a little
so I would like to read a text message streak on Instagram. Picture of Vander. Oh, look at him. Sweaty face, tongue out emoji. Picture of Vander. All caps. Look. Picture of Vander. I. Picture of Vander. Love. Picture of Vander. Him. This is me now in all caps. You can make your fan cams of him when you're done with mine, lol. But for real, double arcane wedding? Question mark. Baby eyes and the fingers rubbing together. Emojis. Your hubby gives me his daughter. Then we blow up the cake. I feel like
your face is potato.
No, I said, and then no. My next question is your hubby gives me his daughter, who then blows up the cake. Sounds pretty romantic. Not gonna lie. And then she goes, double Arcane wedding it is. And my response is just, that's going to go so hard. And then she says, you're married to the local psychopath. I say that with love. And I'm married to the hound of the underworld. It'll be a shotgun wedding, not because of the usual reasons, but because actual shotguns will be at the wedding. And then I was just like, no, Jinx will be pregnant too.
Shotguns all around. I would also like to preface this that in the same text thread before this conversation, I received like 10 different pictures of Anna Taylor-Joy.
No, that was after. It was after, and I sent you every picture from a fan page.
From one, yes.
They had like just a collage saying, "I'm gonna cry. How could she be so cute?" And I scrolled through, and she was in fact cute in all the pictures. This is my real life celebrity crush, by the way, Anya Taylor-Joy. I sent her all of those pictures, and then I said, I will date her. She will cosplay Jinx. We will be happy. And then she goes, she's married, my friend. And I'll be like, she'll get a divorce.
That's how I feel about Josh Hutcherson right now.
Oh my God.
Living for him on my For You page.
Oh, I love that people have taken that one specific edit with that one song that starts with a whistle. And I love that every time they're like, oh my God, you guys will never believe what's in my candy. And then it's that.
I love it so much.
I saw one.
Like, aside from anime crushes, like Josh Hutcherson is my like real life actual person celebrity crush. Because otherwise,
I can't take him
seriously
after Bridge to Terabithia. I just see him as the Bridge to Terabithia
I love
kid.
Him so much.
Oh,
Power to you.
Makes me so sad.
I'm just saying, Bridge to Terabithia is all he'll ever be in my mind because his face refuses to age.
That's
his
very
face
true.
does refuse. Absolutely.
I just see him. I see him, and he should go, Leslie.
Yeah, it's funny. I realize most of my celebrity crushes are obviously older. They're normally like double my age minimum. But Josh Hutcherson and Taz Skylar, who plays Sanji in the live action One Piece, are both so close to my age. It's so bizarre. Like they're
stand
it.
A chance.
That is just that those two are the only celeb crushes that I have that are near my age. Josh Hutcherson's a year older than I am, and Taz Skylar's a year younger. And I'm like, wow.
Ooh, whoa.
But that's it. Out of the thousands of crushes, celeb crushes, just those two.
Do you still have you still have PETA, the PETA
my t-shirt
pillowcase? No, your pillowcase.
Yeah, I still have that. It's somewhere. I also have a t-shirt. I gotta have to whip that out, all right.
I hate PETA as a character in the books. So when they casted him as Josh Hutcherson, I'm like, why did you do this? Because in the books they make him sound because Suzanne Collins was just like struggling to make Katniss. I guess not only like she made her likable, but then I guess she didn't know how to make her any stronger other than have her like shitting on a man constantly. So she made this like soy-soaked baker's boy, PETA Malark. And then about midway through the second book, I'm like, wait, we're really going with the PETA love it? Okay. Gail's right there, but okay.
I love PETA Malark. I think she could have written him better for sure, but I like that he's soft. He's a soft boy.
And on top of that, he's also just stupid. Like even he admits that I'm stupid.
But
everything sucks because I'm
great.
stupid. And the fact is, when he admits that to her, she doesn't ever correct him. And he has that conversation on like multiple occasions about how much he's like, I suck so much. And she's just like sits there nodding.
She's like, well, I'm not going to argue with that.
Also, I love how like every other story has like, oh, this was their first meeting. It was funny. Oh, this was their first meeting. It was awkward. Oh, this was their first meeting. It was cute. Oh, this was their first meeting. It was romantic. Then you have Hunger Games. It's like he saw her shriveled, flesh wrapped around bones, starving ass huddled in the mud, and he had torched bread he had ruined so badly that his mother beat his ass, and he was supposed to feed it to the pigs, but instead he throws it into the mud puddle. He throws it into the mud puddle in front of her, stares at her for 3 seconds, and then walks inside, and Suzanne Collins goes, yes. This is the beginning of a love story.
That guy.
And
that
I'm
guy's
like,
the one she's going to end up with.
Wow. This was written by I'm kidding. Anyways.
Shut up.
Oh my god.
No. I have the reason I made that joke is because I just had the Jack Nicholson clip from that one movie where he plays a writer and a woman fan walks up to him and goes, "How do you write women so well?" And he goes, "I think of a man. And then I take away, what did he say? He said, I take away intelligence and accountability." And I'm like, oh, ouch. It's that easy, huh? Starts writing
immediately.
Immediately becomes author.
Immediately becomes author and starts making just hundreds of those weird books. Those weird like almost porn books that you see at Walmart where it's like an unnaturally chiseled man in a cowboy hat
on the front.
holding a woman with her like knockers almost completely out standing in a corral for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't
unlogical place for them to stand, and you're like, why would you be there?
And he'll be leaning his bare back against the timbers that make the fence, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, like absolutely no. Oh gosh.
Did I tell you that I was at Albertsons across the street from my house back in California once? I saw an old woman buying a cucumber and a copy of 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh no.
That image has stuck with me for over a decade now. I was that traumatized by it.
That sounds
painful.
Look, it's called self-care. Wyatt. All right.
She was like 70. She was like 70.
Okay, yeah,
it's called self-care.
Self-care? Granny over there doing DIY pickles.
Oh my god. This is a family-friendly podcast.
It is not a family-friendly
podcast. No, it is not.
Is it?
Don't listen to this around your children.
I feel like that ship sailed in episode 1.
We're family-friendly. G-rated, okay?
G-rated. G as in...
Good God, please stop.
Granny going for it. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Anyways, Arcane.
Anyways,
circle back.
Oh, speaking of circling back, and going off topic, I was gonna ask you if you saw the Crunchyroll subtitle thing that happened.
Yeah, I unfortunately didn't see the entire thing. Apparently so Jamie, I'm gonna let you in on some context. The old word for shrine in the Japanese dialect is also, depending on the context and tone you say it in, it can also mean kitchen. So there's a character in Jujutsu Kaisen whose ability is called Malevolent Shrine. He basically clasps his hands and everything within like a 500-meter radius of him just dies. And because the word is mistaken, the first like day or two that the episode was out, he was saying special ability Malevolent Kitchen. And then when he did it, everything around him just got sliced to pieces, and I'm like, "Ooh, so he's Gordon Ramsay. Nice."
he's Fruit Ninja in real life.
Well, the irony is I think the reason that was a confusion that they so easily made is because Gege Akutami in a interview just casually dropped the bomb that Sukuna is like a happy, like casual cooker. Like he really liked to cook. Before he became like the Demon King, he was just a chef in his spare time. So
they're just like, okay, kitchen, whatever.
So I guess they were like, oh, maybe this kanji is actually meant to say kitchen.
Oops. Yeah, let him cook. Let him cook.
After like 24 hours and fan backlash, they were like, oh, wait. Bad call.
Oh.
Let him cook. Also, I just love, I don't know if I haven't watched the episode, because I don't want to, because I'm going to be sad. But the ending of this last episode, I'm sure you've seen the memes of Yuji crying and they just play the opener over it.
No, the best one is they shared, that's not a meme, that's in the actual episode.
No, I know, but I'm saying you've.
That
I'm
that
sure
it works
they've made
because that
memes
song
of
is
it.
about someone in a position of power in an abusive relationship lording that power over someone. So when Sukuna's like, "Hey, yeah, come here, brat. Take a look at the thousands of people I just killed in like 30 seconds. Your body did this. Bye." And then it plays
Yeah,
that
it's real.
song about an
It's real.
abusive relationship. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I don't
It
care
makes
because
me want to
here's the
throw up
thing. Here's the
every
thing. All
time.
the stupid casuals. The worst part about anime going like viral and getting popular, sure, it makes money and we'll get more of it. But the worst part about it is you end up with a bunch of stupid casuals who these kinds of fans are ones that I call consumers, which is the word consumers, but you switch the U for two O's. That's the kind of fans we're dealing with here because they don't have an eye for symbolism. Their media literacy is in the negative digits. They're only here because OMG, sexy character. And I know, Casey, I know that's what drew you in from the beginning, but I know
Whoa,
you
hey,
also like the
whoa.
story. I know you like the story too, and you have an eye for symbolism and twist, so you can
Whoa.
appreciate good writing. I'm referring to like the Disney Star Wars fans of the anime fandom, you know? Anyways,
Yeah.
so yeah, they missed the point of that scene. So of course they're memeing on it. And my brother sent me a meme this morning that at first I didn't get the joke of because it was Aaron Yeager losing his shit while Hans was getting eaten. And the caption was, "This is how you could have made Attack on Titan peak." And while he's like saying, "You suck, nothing's changed," in the background, "You Are My Special" starts playing. And I'm like, what's the joke here? And he's like, oh, people thought that was cheesy at the end of the last episode. And I'm like, by people, you mean the normies who are just here because they want to bang Gojo, right? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know, probably. And I'm like, that song fits the theme. That's why they chose it. But because,
And it is a
and
banger of a song.
if you go online and look at all the people complaining about it, which I did promptly afterwards, yeah, it's a bunch of dumb white people who don't actually know what the lyrics of the song are. When it takes like 5 minutes of like intentional research to be like, oh, meanwhile,
Not even
me over
5
here,
minutes.
Yeah,
not even
it's
5
a quick
minutes.
Google.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Google's not hard to use.
Especially for me, someone who actually takes the time. The whole reason I adore Arcane so much is because I have an eye for that detail. I pay attention for payoffs and twists and symbolism and foreshadowing and stuff. So, like, the Imagine Dragons song that they picked, I was like, why did they pick this song? And then I'm like, it's because this one character is literally living the life of Joaquin Phoenix Joker. So, of course, they feel this way.
Which is also a banger song, by the way.
Yes.
I
Wyatt
don't
doesn't
think
like
it's
it.
no. I like the song on its own. I don't think it's a good pick for the series because the vibe the way because they had to chop it up to make it like a minute long for the theme song block, so it doesn't work that way for me.
But it is a good song. 10 out of 10.
It's an okay.
They've done the
I like the
beginning
music
of the
video.
song.
I like the music video. Have you seen that, Jamie?
Yes, I have.
The music video that's all in the
Of course
Arcane
she
engine.
has.
Yes,
Yeah.
I am an Imagine Dragons fan, so I've definitely seen it. But I do like, in the actual intro, the beginning of the song, I wish they would have kept that tempo throughout the song because then I think it would have matched a bit better.
I can't even imagine what that would look like. But like, yeah, I get what you're saying. Keep it tonally consistent. It just gets sort of wacky, funky, and then higher in like monotone.
I love a good intro to an anime, to a show. I have a whole anime intro playlist that I just like go through on my phone.
I don't even do that. I just throw it all. I throw all my music on the same playlist. I am like,
because you're a psychopath.
Yeah.
That's
So am I.
psychotic behavior. That is psychotic behavior.
You just go to your
You
like
guys are
songs and you hit shuffle.
Nope,
Yes.
psycho.
yes,
Psychopaths.
I go from Panic at the Disco to 1OK Rock on a Dime. It's beautiful.
Oh,
You guys
yeah.
are psychopaths. I have to have a playlist for literally like every mood I'm in.
I'll go
just
from
go-
like
That
I'll
is
just be like
psychotic
pumping-
behavior.
I'll just be
To
like, I'll
Carly
be
Rae
doing,
Jepsen.
no, I'll be like
To
pumping
SpongeBob
iron.
Ray.
I'll be like, no. It'll be like, I'll be like pumping iron in the gym, and it'll be like, last Friday night.
Katy Perry.
It's
That's psychotic.
No,
That's
it's beautiful.
crazy.
It's beautiful because
No,
people will be
you
like,
guys
"Oh,
are
he's about to fall. He'll need help. He'll need a spotter." What the heck? That's like his 8th second win. Wow.
Oh my god. Yeah, I could not do that. My music is very Like, it's the one thing in my life that's organized.
Now, when I
Like,
ran
music that I
marathons,
listen
when
to.
I ran marathons, Casey, that was when I would take the time to organize playlists.
Yeah, see, I'm
yeah.
a crazy. I have like a driving playlist for like every mood I'm in. I'm very organized with that. I cannot just put on shuffle. Ew.
See, here's the problem. I keep
With my 2000 songs.
I keep remembering too many songs and constantly trying to add them to my playlist so I can listen to them later so I don't forget them. That's the problem.
For sure.
So what I have now currently on YouTube is just a playlist with 285 songs, and I just keep adding to it. The newest here, I'll just read you the last few things I've added to it because I keep remembering them and I want to listen to them. I have, let's see, this is the last, okay. Last Friday Night by Katy Perry.
Nice.
Face to Face by Citizen Soldier. Talking in Your Sleep by the Romantics.
Yeah.
What I've done.
Yeah. Oh,
New Divide and Iridescent, all by Linkin Park. The cover of Unravel from Tokyo Ghoul that Ado just put out. Closer by Neo.
Nice.
The Simple and Clean from Kingdom Hearts, but the Planet B remix, the like 2-minute remix from the beginning of Recoded, but in Japanese. I think the chorus of that song is better in Japanese. And then the last
Simple
song
and Clean?
Yeah.
Oh.
That song, that when they translated it to English, it got a new chorus because the lyrics didn't work with the tempo. So they had her write a new chorus since she's also fluent in English. And then after that, the last song I currently have is Lights by LA Gold.
Oh, yeah. See? Your playlist looks like mine. It's very chaotic.
That's crazy. I am so... Listen,
See, I just have that song on there so that way I can drop everything and just dance like the dude in the intro to Super Crooks. You guys haven't even seen the show and you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just the dude vibing in his garage with his homies dancing in the corner.
But see, so for my music, so I have my liked songs that has like 2,000 different songs on it right now. And that'll normally just, when I'm driving, I'll hit shuffle. But most of the time I end up, skipping a ton because it's not what I want to listen to. I do have a playlist and it's just called Now, and it's the songs that I'm like hyper fixated on. I just want to play on repeat. And here's the thing, my commute to work is normally like 25 minutes, and normally my Now playlist tends to be about 25 minutes. So I'm like, perfect. I've listened to all the songs that my soul needs today before I go to my soul sucking job. So I'll be okay.
Same. That's why, I think that listen, every year, every November is like my Super Bowl. It's my Roman Empire. It's my Roman Empire. The Spotify wrap-up, listen, it's very predictable, and I know nobody gives a shit. Like, I always share my music on my Instagram. Like, anybody actually gives a shit. But I cannot wait for it, and I cannot wait to share it and show everybody how wonderful my music taste is, even though literally nobody cares. Actually, no, I'm the only one that cares, and it's like it's going to be so predictable because
it's all going to be Avenged Sevenfold.
Avenged Sevenfold, Bad Omens, and freaking Falling in Reverse. That's it. So predictable.
So happy.
But I'm so excited.
Happy. I'm so happy. Do you know why I'm so happy?
No, but I feel like you're going to tell us.
Because my search page on Instagram is all like Jinx posting because of the teaser trailer. It's amazing. All just like it's my sexuality as a search page. It's wonderful.
Mine's a bunch of memes.
Yeah, I was supposed to say I get a lot of memes. I get a lot of Josh Hutcherson right now.
Oh, me too.
It's just Jinx and anime. It's just Jinx and anime.
And I get a lot of Pedro and Jensen Ackles. That's my For You page on literally Instagram and TikTok. It's weird. It's like the same now. Normally it's different.
Yeah, mine is normally different, but I'm getting a lot of Josh Hutcherson, but that's because I like every single one that comes up on my For You page and my
it doesn't matter if it's
Instagram.
Good or not.
It doesn't matter if it's good. If I see his face, I'm gonna like it. I love him so much.
So when I go to send you
behind
stuff,
the scenes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. But when I go to send you stuff, I'm like, I'm gonna send this to her, and then I see that you already liked it, And then sometimes I send it to you anyways. I'm like,
Hey,
she can see it again.
If you find something I've already liked, just send it to me. I know every single Jinx thing on your pages already has a Piratekingboros liked this already.
Yeah.
I know. I love that it shows you that like what people that you like follow and interact with a lot like it, because then I'm like, I'll see, like I saw one, I don't remember what it was, but I saw that Wyatt liked it and I sent it to him and I was like, why did you like this?
Oh yeah, it was like
super unhinged.
It was like, no, because it was like a suicide joke or something. And
I was like, excuse me, and because like I liked it because I think it's funny and unhinged. And I was like, excuse me.
That's so funny.
Yeah, so I like that it shows you that, because I'm like, I'll see like something that's super like unhinged and my friends will like it and I'm like, well, that makes sense. Figures.
No, the worst is when my mom is like, Wyatt, why did you like this picture of this reel? She'll be like, why did you like this reel that's a bird eating tarantula shedding? I did not need that on my recommended.
You're welcome.
She's like, keep your unhingedness to yourself, please.
No, like literally it was a video of a Goliath bird eating tarantula shedding its skin.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool, like, and then like 8 days later my mom is like, why am I getting this because you liked it? Can I just turn that off? I don't want to see that. No, thank you.
Oh, I love it because your mom hates spiders with a passion.
Same.
Anyways,
Spiders
Arcane.
are icky.
Yeah.
We should actually try to talk about Arcane. Because it's great to be unhinged, but like we should try to talk about Arcane. Okay, so
Casey, when was the last time how long has it been since you watched Arcane? Because Wyatt and I both obviously watched it recently.
You guys just recently watched it. I only watched it the one time. I need to rewatch it. It's on my list of shows to rewatch, although I just get stuck in loops of watching Haikyuu, but we'll get there. It's hard because like I never I'm not good at watching new TV shows because I just want to rewatch old TV shows, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, this show is 3 years old, so I think it falls into that category.
Yeah. Yeah,
they made us wait way
but
too
like
long.
especially like if it's on Netflix and it's a new show, because I'm like, that's a lot of episodes at once. If it's like out weekly, I can do that a little bit better. Because like I'm grandma, I'm old, I have the attention span of a goldfish, so like I can't binge TV shows anymore like I used to, you know, back in the heyday.
Back in your early 20s?
Back in my my early 20s.
Your late 20s?
Yeah.
See, I know I'm not supposed to, but I don't care. It doesn't stop me.
I have no self-control, so if there's a show, like, I love when a full season is out, I will sit and watch the whole thing in one sitting if I can.
Like, this entire weekend has been binging television.
Just so old.
It's been binging television and revisiting. It's been revisiting old shows and I've watched 2 new movies as well. Nice. I watched oh my. Sorry, anyways, I need to put down my Nope. Too much. No. I'm being distracted. Anyways. This weekend, I binge watched. I've been rewatching Arcane because I keep needing references for the scripts because I want to give my editor actual scripts. He's good at editing, but I have like precise ideas I want to do. So I'm trying to do that. So I've been rewatching Arcane again. I'm about 3 episodes in. As far as my family goes, my mother unironically expressed an interest in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
I have been like, okay, I don't have that Blu-ray yet, but I do have this, and so I'm showing her the first season of House of the Dragon instead because I feel like that's easier right now.
Yeah, small chunk.
We're 4.5 episodes into that. She kind of likes it, but she's complaining about things, and every time she complains, we're like, this is Game of Thrones too, so like you better make up your mind as to whether or not you actually want to see or hear that.
I started rewatching Game of Thrones this year because I just got into like a random mood and I was like, I want to rewatch Game of Thrones, and then I was like irritated all over again rewatching it, like the early seasons.
And then
the last season, which is terrible.
The other thing I watched an A24 movie starring Robert Pattinson yesterday called Good Time.
Oh.
It's a movie where I forget the actor who plays his brother, but him and his brother tried to rob a bank, but his brother has special needs, so he gets arrested. So he spends like the next 36 hours of his life trying to free his brother, but he fails and gets caught, and that's the movie. It's a pretty okay movie. It's a pretty okay movie. Stuff happens, stuff goes wrong. It's like the final season of Breaking Bad if it were a movie about a different criminal.
Mm.
And then today I watched the movie The Killer with Michael Fassbender, which is like insanely good. He plays a hitman, and it's great because it spends the first 15 minutes of him narrating the movie, hyping himself up, going through like his American Psycho prep time to get ready to shoot somebody. And then he's like, I rock, I never miss, I don't give a fuck, I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Did I mention I'm awesome? He shoots and immediately misses.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, that's great. That's a great way to start this movie. And I mean, he doesn't miss. What happens is he's trying to kill. It was either a politician or a mob boss or something, but it's some fat dude he's trying to shoot. He's got the guy's head right in his reticle, but the dude in question has a sex worker over. And right as he pulls the trigger and everything should be perfectly falling into place, the sex worker gyrates her body or something and gets shot right in the gut.
Oh no!
And I'm just like, oh, that's hilarious, actually. Oh my word.
It was not the night she planned on having.
And so what ends up happening is he fails, obviously, because he needs to get out of Dodge. Whether succeed or fail, once you pull that trigger, you need to skip town. And so he's gone. The person who hired him wanted to be like, oh, no, we need to burn that paper trail. So they try to send someone to his house, but all that's at his house is his girlfriend who doesn't know anything and wouldn't narc on him even if she did. So she gets messed up. And so he uses his bottomless hundreds of millions of dollars to get her taken care of after she gets beat up, and he puts her in a private hospital and stuff, and she's safe for the rest of the movie. She's not a problem. And so he hunts down the people who backstabbed him, the people this, the people that. It's a pretty good movie.
Nice.
It was, and I knew it was a pretty good movie going in because the popular Japanese video game developer Hideo Kojima, known for Death Stranding and Metal Gear, he has a pattern of tweeting and posting on Instagram. His way of reviewing movies, he doesn't give a score. He will post, he'll say, I saw this, and then if he liked it, he'll just give a rough summary of the movie and who made it and when it's coming out or came out, and how he watched it. That'll be it. He'll just give a summary of how his day went about the movie. He won't be like, I saw the movie. You should watch
this. Yeah.
This plot is but this, no, he'll just be like, I saw the movie. It was an IMAX. It was well done. This, that, the other, right?
Yeah.
But if he doesn't like the movie, he'll just say saw X. Saw whatever,
Yeah.
So he'll be like, I saw The Killer on Netflix by so and so. It stars Michael Fassbender. It's pretty good. This, that, this, that, this, that, this, that, this, that. And then the same day he posts saw the Marvels in IMAX. And everyone's like, oh, he didn't like it.
He didn't like it.
No surprise there.
I'm currently rewatching Markiplier's FNAF.
Yes,
playlist.
Same.
That is what I'm watching currently.
I am the king of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Every night before I go to bed. Currently, right now I'm on FNAF 2.
Dang, okay, so the first night.
Okay, you. So the first night's not that hard. So tonight I'm just gonna opens door screams immediately.
I love FNAF. I'm in my FNAF
is
era.
amazing.
Everybody knows.
I do love the first episode that Mark filmed for FNAF 1. Literally, I feel like we all had the same collective experience in night 1 where we like panic the whole time, but we make it through and it's fine. You're like, oh, okay. And it lulls you into a sense of security. And then you get to night 2 and you scream because something jumps and you're like, nope.
Oh, I love FNAF. So everybody knows I'm in my FNAF era. Oh my god, Wyatt, did you see the Jujutsu Kaisen Crocs? I know we're not talking. Listen, did you see them?
Yes. I saw a lot of
I need them.
I also keep seeing that the Jujutsu Kaisen meltdown keeps getting worse. The staff meltdown.
Oh.
They're literally
that's why I
about to
sent them
leave.
to you. I literally I get Croc ads on my feed now because of Casey, because she's a Croc wearer and I hate Crocs, but so anytime there's like a themed one and I'm like, oh, she's gonna like these.
Yeah, I need them in my life. I'm a Croc. Listen, I am a diehard Croc fan. I will die in Crocs. Bury me in a pair of Crocs, please. That's how much I love them. So yeah, anytime there's themed Crocs, I'm like, I need them. I love Crocs. I have like all of the little charms on my Crocs. Like, I rock with Crocs. Okay.
She wears them every time we go out anywhere. Doesn't matter where we're going.
I wear them, anywhere. Literally, like, they're my going out shoes.
And I'm just like, bruh, could you not? I did like, I can't remember why.
The theme parks whose feet don't hurt. Mine
don't hurt either. Thank you very much. Mine don't hurt from my shoes.
Can you throw your shoes into sport mode? Exactly.
No, because I have actual laces on my shoes, so they stay in sport mode.
Drive. Gotta throw these babies into 4-wheel drive.
And she'll ask me too when we're standing in line for stuff. She's like, do I need to put these in sport mode? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna put them in sport mode. Okay.
If we're doing stairs or walking, those babies are going into sport mode. But if it's like a cash like stroll, like, you can just kick it with the little things
with the regular.
Front.
I did like the other day. Because you spilt soda in my car and on your Crocs, so she had to leave them in the garage because they were sticky. And then you went to dinner, I think, and she had to wear Vans, and I was like, "Ha!
I know.
Sucks for you."
I'm like, this is not. I always like try to any place that I can get away with wearing Crocs, I will.
She wears Crocs.
Yeah. Sorry, I just put a piece of popcorn in my mouth. I don't know if anybody heard that. That's so embarrassing. Are you still alive over there, Wyatt?
Yes.
Yeah, he's just ignoring her.
Distracted by the sheer amount of Jinx fan art on my Instagram search.
You'll be so excited.
Like, I don't care about your Crocs.
No, he's like, whatever. I started editing today, Wyatt, so I'm hoping to get those done. So I'll definitely have one done tonight. So hopefully I can send that to you, and then if you want me to change anything, we could change anything.
As long as it has as long as it has like reason.
It has your notes. I have your notes, so
as long as it's at least that far, we should be good. But like, I did send. The Arcane animators knew exactly what they were doing. I will emphasize that every time we bring this up, because I swear every frame it's like she's a Vogue model. It's so weird. You just take a picture. Literally every time she's on screen moving, take a picture, and it's like a perfect pose. It's so weird. Like the amount of like weirdly horny faces they give her, it's so weird. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like the amount of lip bites she has.
I was gonna say she plays
like
with her
bottom
lips.
lip bites.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's not even like a consistent character quirk or something. Like there, for example, in The Killer with Michael Fassbender, his character consistently, when he's about to like start carrying his gun around, he'll like tighten his lips, but that's so his face is not emoting it, so he doesn't give away what he's thinking or feeling when he's about to accost his quarry. That's not the case with Jinx. She's just biting her lips.
Yeah, she plays with her lips.
Because the Arcane animators know that she looks cute when she bites her bottom lip. So I'm
And I feel like most of the time when she's looking at whoever or whatever she's looking at, she's normally looking either down at it, or even if she's looking up, her eyes are always kind of half closed. So she's always got bedroom eyes on.
There's two of my favorite scenes with her. Actually three. I'm thinking of three now. Three of my favorite things that she does. It's one, the way she hugs Silco on Progress Day. I want her to hug me like that.
Yeah.
I want her to hug me like that. The second one is when she goes and like harasses the dude at the bar. Chuck.
Oh, I love that scene.
No, and then like all the scenes of her just like she like slams her forehead on the bar with like a giant thud, and I'm like, yeah, that's me every Monday at work. It's me like, hey Chuck. Anyways, moves on. And then yeah, with her drink. The thing is, me and my brother, when we were kids, we used to do the same thing where if we had like a toy in our hand or something and an open cup, we would throw the toy in the drink. So I'm like, that's just a thing people do. Like when she throws the Hextech gemstone in her drink.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's seen Star Wars. She knows what she was doing. And then the other scene is after Silco gives her a talking to, and she's not quite as afflicted by her PTSD, so she's able to work with the gemstone. And it's her with her little notebook and the pen in her mouth. It's so cute. It's so cute. And then when she like gets it to work and she like spins around in her chair and is like twirling her hair, it's so adorable. It's awesome.
I do like the one scene where she's working and Silco comes in and is like yelling at her to try and get her attention, but she's just sitting there bobbing her head to the music.
Do you remember the interpretation I told you I had?
Yes, you did.
There's like 10 cuts in that scene, and she switches between like 10 different tasks, which means either A, she's just like me for real and works horribly and like is constantly jumping between tasks, or Silco stood there while she had the same song on repeat for like 20 minutes screaming at her, hoping he wouldn't have to like start turning off her music and taking her toys away. And both of those are equally funny and equally plausible. Yes. So I'm like, it's just great. The whole thing is just great. Also, she looks adorable in her glasses, and when she spins around and says, "That's
her little
me,"
goggles, so cute.
That's me. Oh, I miss her. I can't. November can't come soon enough. Next November.
I know.
Next November can't come soon enough.
It's only a year away.
At this point, I'll be literally a month away from being a quarter century old when that finally starts.
Congratulations. So I will be a few months away from being 31 at that point. That's weird.
I feel
you're old.
I am.
I'm like right in the middle of you two.
Yes, you are.
Even though I act like I'm 95.
That's because you are 95 on the inside.
At heart.
At heart, you're a granny.
At heart.
I'm like a granny that tries to like go out and party, but like it's still a granny. So
yeah,
like,
you just can't hang.
I just
you're like, I already did that once this month. I'm good.
So I have a question. What would you guys prefer? Let's pivot back to Arcane. Let's cover, instead of characters, let's talk plot. What would you guys prefer? Would you prefer it stay character driven, or would you prefer if it expanded into a more grandiose plot? Because I like it as it is now, don't get me wrong, where it's like individual characters doing their own thing, sometimes coming in contact. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind a sort of Game of Thrones thing where there's like a bigger thing going on.
I like it how, like, I like how Game of Thrones is set up, like where it's like more plot driven. I would say, me personally, that's what I like.
Okay, so there's ways that can work. Me personally, the way I would like a mix of both. I feel like if every race and place can get a season or two,
for
and then
sure.
we push for like something. Because here's if I was writing the show, because the way League of Legends lore has always been is it's sort of been in like narrative limbo. Because like I don't think they want to like canonically kill off a character unless
Correct.
you want to like in certain cases there are instances where a character needs to canonically die to become what they are in the game. So like that's different. Like for example, there's a character called the Taken King, Viego, and he's like this ghost king with like a giant ghost sword. He's a cool guy, but like he literally needs to be like he needs to lose his wife in a tragic death, and then he needs to try and revive his wife, and then she needs to stab him, and then he needs to rot in a coffin for 1,000 years. That's how what it takes for him to become what he is in the game.
Yeah, so a transformative death is fine, just not like a
Yeah,
death
yeah.
just to get rid of somebody kind of thing.
But then again, there's also like the plethora of well-made non-canon characters. Well, they're not even non-canon; they're canon, but like not they're not like game characters. So you have like Marcus, Savika, Vander, because as it stands now, there's no comparison. There's no confirmation that he is Warwick, but there's a heavy implication that at the very least he's used to make him. And then there's also what was her name? Grayson, the old like officer lady.
Yeah.
Sad. Benzo.
I know, I
again,
liked her.
sad. I liked him.
I liked him too, yeah.
Oh, there was a really funny joke where he was holding a piece that got patched out of the game because it was too overpowered. And he said, yeah, I had to decommission this because I couldn't make it work right or something. There was like some sort of joke or throwaway line of dialogue about like, yeah, this thing sucks, so I got rid of it or something like that. So the fan base got a kick out of that. But anyways, so what we have left to work with, what I think is going to happen is I think we're going to get the backstories, a story, and then we'll like set the characters in a status quo. Or like a sort of narrative limbo. Like, don't get me wrong, the teaser trailer was concerning because it made it sound like Jinx was giving like a pre-death dialogue. I don't think they're gonna do that.
I wouldn't think so. I think the fandom would riot.
I would very much prefer if Riot didn't kill my wife.
Yeah.
Please. Here's what I think we're gonna see in season 2. I think that Vi will become, because in the lore as it sits now, if you go and like read what Riot has, Vi is an enforcer, Caitlyn is a higher ranking enforcer. They are a official couple and they regularly pursue Jinx. So I feel like if season 2 was to take that to a televised show perspective, I feel like what we're going to see in season 2 is Vi become an official enforcer. We're going to see her and Caitlyn bang. And then they'll probably, I don't think they'll just chase Jinx. I think they'll probably catch her and she'll be in like a cell. And that's where narratively we will leave that area of the world. The world of League of Legends is called Runeterra, by the way. I found that out recently. I rediscovered that information. Yeah, they don't live on Earth. They live on Runeterra because they're built different. And that's what'll happen. That's what'll happen with the 3 women. As far as Jason Victor goes, I feel like Victor will fully transform into what he's meant to be.
Yeah.
Casey, do you know what Victor looks like in now?
No.
Hold on, I have a picture. I'll send it to you on Instagram. Open your Instagram right now so we can hear your reaction when I show it to you, because it was funny when I sent it to Jamie and the crew while we were watching. This is how I figured out how far back in the timeline we were when we were watching Arcane, when I watched Arcane for the first time, because I was like, okay, so we're going to start at the beginning. And I was like, how far back is the beginning? And I was like, okay, Jinx is a kid. That's pretty far back. Neat. So anyways, this is what he looks like in the current time of the lore. Like, current timeline. Not, because Arcane is very much a flashback. Like base story origin. This is what he looks like right now.
Wow.
So me and when I was showing the show, me and my buddy Ben, someone who's played the game longer and already knows that he looks like that, he was like, "Oh, so we're like really starting at like chapter 0 here. Like we're in the prologue. We're in the preface, like when you first open the fold of the book." We're reading the dust cover right now. Anyways,
beginning.
Yeah.
but like there's a scene where he's like showing Heimerdinger his inventions, and there's a scene where like the laser is like sitting over his shoulder in the exact position as that art. And Ben just immediately sounds off. He's like, that's some like Spider-Man 2 Doc Ock level foreshadowing right there. And I'm like, oh my, I never noticed that. Good job. Nice. Cool.
Wait, so did you play League of Legends first, or did you watch Arcane first? Because you guys I've never played League of Legends.
I technically played first, but I wasn't like a fan until I saw the show.
Guest is here.
Oh, our guest star.
She's back.
I thought that was a kid.
No, it was a cat.
It's Flash. It's our critic.
Yeah.
Wait, you have you have a bird and a cat?
She does.
That's
She's
2
got
birds
a farm.
and a cat. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
You should hear it here at 6 a.m. They all are going off. Like Flash will start meowing. Scarlet will start yelling at Flash. JoJo will start singing. She starts yelling at JoJo.
What is does the bird that just, what do you mean yelling?
Like she tells him to shut up. Like
they actually say shut up? That's funny.
Yeah, she actually does. She talks very well, unfortunately.
She mimics sounds very well too.
Yeah.
My favorite joke about a talking bird is how they'll be like, "Oh, it's annoying when birds mimic what people say during sex." Cuz they'll hear my bird go, "Harder, Dave." And then I'll get sad, not because I don't do it hard enough, but because my name is not Dave. And it's just I love jokes like that. Anyways. So, like I was saying,
you played it, but you weren't a fan. Is that what you're saying?
I had played it off and on. I say I wasn't a fan because I only got my PC right as we moved to Tennessee. So I never really had a way to play it. So I would only ever like play it at like friends' houses, and even then I would only play it to play with them, not because I wanted to play League of Legends, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I finally like got a PC, I was like, "Hey, I've always wanted to try this." And then I played it for a little bit. I was like, "That's cool. I'll just keep that on my computer." And then I watched Arcane, and I'm like, "Oh my, I am a PC degenerate now because I'm just going to play League of Legends for hundreds of hours." So yeah. Anyways, in the lore, back to what we were saying about the lore. The lore also states, the lore Bible, Scriptura, also says that Jace and Victor need to have critical disagreements about where their tech and stuff needs to go, and they eventually have a violent falling out. I don't know if that happens before or after Victor's transformation. I think in the show it's going to happen after, because I think Victor's going to get seriously hurt in the Jinx attack, and he's going to be forced to need to use the Hex Core to save his own life. I think that's how that's going to go. And then, trying to think, who else is on the move? Echo, he hasn't quite had lore so much as he's had stories. He's just like the boy who's always out of time, so he's constantly manipulating it to try and like fix things. I don't know. I don't exactly know where they'll go with him. And Heimerdinger's always just kind of been a smartass, so I'm not sure where they'll go with him either. I think it's very much going to be the young guy teaches the old guy how to live while the old guy teaches the young guy knowledge. I think that's just going to be how their duo is going to look.
Yeah. I agree.
And I'm trying to think who else is named characters. Singed? I don't know where he's going to go. But I do know he's going to go somewhere because they felt the need to remind us he was there in the finale. Singed is the old man doctor who taught Victor all the stuff and then gave Jinx her purple eyes per Silco's request. Casey?
Mm-hmm.
The guy. He's the guy who made Shimmer.
Yeah.
But I'm curious what he has to contribute. I know that everyone's saying he's going to make Warwick.
Mm-hmm.
And I also know he already made Oriana. Oriana is his daughter, she's just like a robot ballerina fighter woman thing, and I don't remember why exactly she leaves him. I just know she does. Savika is probably going to take over, and because she's a black woman with a fake arm, I think that they really are hinting that she might become Renata Glask, because Renata Glask winds up in the current lore. There's a character named Renata Glask who's this tall, busty black chick with a robot arm who like runs basically all the like chemical warfare and drug money in Zaun.
She's like a mob boss.
Mm-hmm. So I think that they might totally do that. They might totally do that. They might totally do that. Where I think because I kept saying Savika should be added to the game as a champion. She's cool. She's got that cool energy blade and the robot arm, and she buffs herself with little bits of shimmer. You could make a character out of that 100%. But then I'm like, wait a minute, what if she already is?
Wait a minute.
Because there's this character who basically fights with what I think is Shimmer and then has a robot arm and is also black. So I'm like, they could totally... The only reason I don't know for sure is because Renata Glask wears a mask, so I don't know what her actual face looks like. So we'll just have to see. But there's that, and we already talked about Heimerdinger. Oh, Mel and her mom.
Oh,
if Mel survives, which I think it's entirely likely she might not, let's just go through that room, shall we?
Yeah.
The weird gay-looking blonde dude who tried to give the old man peanuts in the first episode, he's just dead. He's not relevant enough. The Wat Tambor Star Wars robot looking dude who has to like twist his gears to talk clearly, he's dead. He's not even named. The woman with like the Wakanda twisting tooth frisbee necklace is dead because again, she's not relevant. The old man playing with the child's toy, very dear to our hearts, but he's dead. The only one of any like serious relevance who we need to know does she make it or not is Mel.
Yeah.
And I feel like kind of a fool because I need to record an extra clip to put in the edits of Arcane where I apologize to the fan base. I got LeBlanc's skins, like her alternate skins, mixed up with what she actually looks like. So I talk like she's some freaky scaly monster when I'm like, no, that's just the skin that's most commonly used. She actually looks kind of normal. But she's still a magic like deceiver character, so it's still entirely possible that she could be Mel.
Oh, that's true.
It would just be not as funny as I thought it would be. Because I thought she was like scaly, slimy, and ugly. Which is why I'm like, imagine if that reveal happens and Jace is like, oh
is just
no,
like, oh my god,
I put my thing in that. Ah! Anyways, so yeah, that was confusion. So yeah, I think we're gonna have at least one more season as far as Piltover and Zon are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And then I feel like we're not going to like pause so much as we're going to like tick the clock back just far enough to be like, now to show Arcane
This
in a different nation.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's at least 5 other places that 5. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 other places. There's Demacia, which is it's literally just King's Landing if it was racist to magic. I'm not joking. They think if you can use magic, you are the spawn of Satan, and they immediately kill you. Like it's literally like Germany, but magic, anti-magic instead of anti-Semitic. It's horrible, and it's like really tragic. And there's some like really gut-wrenching like comics and novel entries that have like come out of that storyline. It's really, really sad. And then there's another nation that's like the like if Demacia is King's Landing, this is Casterly Rock. It's this nation called Noxus. And Noxus, if I was to compare it to like a real life country or city, I would say it's probably like Sparta. Where like you are super strong, you have potential for strength, here's a sword, get in line.
You've been like selected for the army.
It's just that panel from that one Grant Morrison Batman comic where he's got this little boy by the scruff of his shirt. The little boy's supposed to be who eventually become Robin, and he goes, "You've been drafted into a war." But anyways, the most popular character from that nation is a guy named Darius, who's just this giant. He's like if Dwayne Johnson and Stoic the Vast from How to Train Your Dragon had a baby. Because he's just this giant dude with a humongous axe who's just like, chop first, ask questions later. And he's absolute like brutal murder machine. Which Casey, how much do you remember like the basic story of Arcane, right?
Yeah.
You remember how Mel's mom tells her that her brother got killed and that's why she came to Piltover?
Yes.
Like your brother is dead. He tried to outfox the wrong person. I think that's what she said. Me and my personal headcanon, and now it's Ben's personal headcanon because he would love to see that character, is the person he tried to outfox is Darius. Because Darius gets easily pissed off when you assume he's an idiot, and because he's a big, bulky, kill first, ask questions later type dude, a lot of people often assume he's an idiot, which means he kills a lot of people. So when she said, your brother thinks himself a fox in a den of wolves, I'm like, oh, he's just gonna get bisected by Darius some point going forward. And then she comes up to Mel in the current timeline of the series and goes, yeah, your brother's dead. And I'm like, oh, he tried to mess with Darius, didn't he? He just got sliced in half like a tree. Anyways, okay, so that was Demacia and Noxus. There's 2 Game of Thrones tier threat locations. There's and when I say Game of Thrones tier, I'm saying like White Walker level threats going on right now in the current League of Legends lore. There's the Void, which is literally like a Lovecraftian black hole that spawns indescribable nightmares beyond human comprehension. And what happens is said indescribable nightmares just start eating things, and the more they consume and eat, the stronger they get. The whole reason the Void exists is because the Watchers don't think reality should exist, so they created the Void to consume it and destroy it. But the Void is kind of counteracting their plan because it's growing in intelligence, and like now you have Belveth, a literal like monarch leader character, taking over that. So I'm like, wow, I guess Jeff Goldblum was right. Life does find a way. So that's that's one problem. You have the literal Lovecraft zone just eating everything and shitting out demons that want to eat everything some more. So there's that. And then you have the other White Walker tier threat is I mentioned Viego, the Taken King. He lives on a place called the Shadow Isles. And basically, the Shadow Isles are covered in a black mist. TM. I don't know. This is literally what it's called. Black mist with a capital B and a capital M and a trademark logo next to it.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Basically, if you get touched by it, one of three things happens to you. Either A, you die, B, you aggro everything inside it to immediately come try and kill you, or C, it awakens like the darkness inside you completely and you then look like what you actually are. The most popular character in it, the first character we ever encountered, I believe, from the Shadow Isles, is a guy named Thresh, who carries a lantern that he stuffs souls inside and gets stronger as he does it. His subtitle is the Chain Warden. He's very badass, but he looks like super evil because when he touched the black mist hundreds and hundreds of years ago, it was like, oh, you're evil. We're going to make you look evil now so people know to stay away from you. So now he has to live on the Shadow Isles. I heard your bird make a phone noise.
Yeah, she's ringing.
She's like, hello.
Hey y'all, not to be a party pooper, but I'm gonna fall asleep here soon.
It's all right. It's all right. There's just one more place, I think. Oh, okay. There's two more. There's two more places. There's Ionia, which is just Ninja Land. Every Japanese
Everybody's
anime stereotype. Everybody is kung fu fighting. Unironically, Ionia is constantly butting heads with Noxus, so there's a lot of involvement from all the characters. All the like Asian stereotypes that you see in fiction exist there, like, you know, like the spirit realm, elements, chi, all that stuff. So like it's really neat. A lot of those characters have pretty cool backstories. If it gets the Arcane treatment, it should be. I think every nation I just mentioned could use, like, if every nation gets 2 seasons and then gets put on like narrative limbo until the big bads start making their moves. That could be how we do it. And then the last place is Bilgewater, which is basically Pirates of the Caribbean land. It's where you see people like Graves, Twisted Fate, Gangplank, and Misfortune.
I love Misfortune.
Misfortune is awesome. There's so much to do with Arcane, and you could get, unironically, if Netflix is just willing to let Riot cook for like the next, let's say 20 years tops, you could have like a 12-season show that's just the best pieces of fiction ever committed to the screen. I don't think that's what's going to happen, though, because Netflix, whenever they get something popular, they seem hell-bent on either forcing their influence into it to the point where they ruin it, or
canceling it.
Or they cancel it, or they make it reduce and end. Like the Castlevania anime is basically pointless, and it becomes basically pointless after season 2. So, and it's entirely because of Netflix's meddling. So I desperately hope that Arcane does not go the way of Castlevania. But this was my nerd dump regarding the lore and Arcane. If they do with the rest of the world what they did with Piltover and Zon in season 1, we would literally have not only like America's answer to One Piece, but it would also just like be like probably some of like the best television literally ever.
Yeah, lots of potential for greatness, but also Netflix always has lots of potential for trash. So, but it's exciting that I hope they do consider all of these other worlds and not just. I feel like sometimes Netflix zones in too hard on just one line of characters
That's the
instead of
yeah.
opening up the worlds. And not that we don't love the characters that we've already seen, but I feel like people get bored of that really fast and it feels very limiting. I can talk, I swear. um
I was like, you said it right the first time.
did I? It didn't feel like
Yes.
it didn't feel like I said it right the first time. That's why I said it again.
Oh, a word that
um
never sounds right when I say it is edited.
oh
When I
yeah.
tell people that I edited it, I
Yeah.
find myself saying the sentence over and over again like 8 times, like it doesn't sound right no matter how many times I say it.
Yeah. So hopefully they keep their minds open. I feel like a lot of studios nowadays want everything very fast, very right now. Do it quickly. I don't care what it looks like. Just get it out.
We might, I think. I'm sorry, I just want to catch you right there because you said something interesting. I think we might be nearing the end of the constant studio interference era because South Park, for
Mm-hmm.
example, has now made it okay to shit on big studios who inject their politics or preferences into media constantly.
Yeah.
Like the whole put a chick in it, make her gay has become literally like the biggest meme on social media right now. Do you know what I'm referring to, Casey?
I don't.
Okay, South Park made a episode where basically, you know who Kathleen Kennedy is?
Mm-hmm.
She's the woman in charge of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
They made an episode where they were literally shitting on her the entire time. And they had a caricature where Cartman and Kathleen Kennedy were fused into a person, and no matter what somebody suggested, Cartman Kennedy, as the character was called, only ever responded by saying, "Put a chick in it, make her gay." And the full statement was, put a chick in it, make her gay and lame." And that's
Yeah.
that's ironically, the Marvels came out, and I won't say anything for the sake of spoilers in case any listeners here are genuinely invested. Uh, but they put a certain chick in it, and they make her gay and lame. They literally lived up to the meme right after the episode dropped. But anyways, South Park is normally a cultural linchpin in that once the show releases an episode of something making fun of something, it then becomes okay for everyone else to do that.
Yeah.
So
It's the
we've
green
seen,
light for society.
yeah, pretty much. So now we see people laughing at um Star Wars insanely, which means that we might see the day where Disney moves for a vote of no confidence in Kathleen Kennedy's leadership. If this council cannot do anything, I suggest new leadership is needed. Anyways, and then the Marvels has undeniably flopped. I just read an article that said
Oh
it had like
yeah.
an 87% fall off on week 2, which is
Yowzas.
literally unheard of in all of Marvel's history. Like the
Uh-huh.
worst, most detested movies in any other phase did not fall off that hard. I don't even think Eternals fell off that hard, and people hate Eternals.
Yeah.
I hate Eternals. I did see it. I, I tried to watch it. I think it was 3 times. I fell asleep both times, and then I forced myself to watch it all the way through a third time, and it was never worth it.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Anyways, so that's I think because all both of those billion-dollar IPs are basically like worthless now in the grand
Yeah.
scheme of things, all because of corporate interference.
Mm-hmm.
All
They
because of
just gotta
corporate
let,
interference.
like, when you hire somebody, especially in a creative field, you hire them because you like their style, you like their writing, you like something that they've created, not for your company most of the time. And you're like, you know what? You're really good at this. I want you to come work for me.
At
And
most, what you should do is give them a deadline.
yeah, and something realistic, not something insane.
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
put your feelers out there. Like I worked in a custom frame shop and I always told my customers like this is a if I'm doing something really complicated, I'm like, look, this is something I've never done. It's really complicated. I guarantee it'll be beautiful by the end, but I might need more than our standard window of time to get this to you. And that them being aware that my creative process, because a lot of people come in with no idea what they want, they have just a very vague general idea, but I'm telling them this is my general like window. It might take a bit longer. I feel like studios need to do that with artists. There is a kind of standard, no matter what your pace of work is, of how long a project should take you. Now, I get that, again, we're in the society of streaming and all of that, where they want it to be fast and simultaneous and all that jazz. But ask your people, especially because a lot of people who work in the studios have been in the studios for a while. Not a ton of them are newbies because it's a very hard industry to break into. So ask them, ask around, ask your friends that work for other studios, how long does a project like this normally take you? Because if people are saying, yeah, it's like a 3-year project, and you're trying to give your people a 1-year deadline, you're going to make a lot of people, not just people who work for you, but also your customers, not happy at all. You
My
won't.
brother couldn't fathom that Beyond the Spider-Verse wasn't ready to come out in a year. I was like, dog, Haley Steinfeld herself in interviews has said she hasn't recorded a single line of dialogue for that movie.
Yeah.
They barely finished animating Across the Spider-Verse before it hit theaters.
Mm-hmm.
It's nowhere near ready.
Yeah.
Unironically, after the controversy that came out with how, like, what was it? They chased hundreds of animators away with how abusive their work environment
Mm-hmm.
was. They're
Mm-hmm.
like, literally, we might not get part three. We might not
No.
get part three. And if that's Sony's punishment for how they mistreated their
And
animators,
that's their own
good.
fault. That's
Good.
their fault. That's bad management in general. You are the head of the ship. You are supposed to manage all of these people. You need to do it preferably with not your head up your butt. Like, talk to your team. Communication is key, and I feel like people who if you're in control of a creative enterprise, I don't care what creative enterprise it is, but you have never done the job that you're telling somebody how to do, don't question how long it's going to take them, how much time they need, how many people they need, because you don't know that. I get you're looking at the numbers and you're trying to appease shareholders and stuff like that, but you really need to listen to your creative people. And a lot of people think creativity is linear. Let me tell you, it is definitely not linear at all. Everybody is human. You go through phases, even if you love your job. You will go through phases where you go to work and you're like, I don't feel like doing this today. My brain is not working. My creative brain, off. So if studios start moving away from that and start taking a step back, letting their creative people be creative and do the job they were hired for, we're going to get a lot of high quality stuff. So hopefully, Netflix, particularly with Arcane, kind of leaves them alone, lets them do what they're going to do, let them have a good time. And that's why people come to the show. You've hired a great creative team, animators, writers, whole shebang. Just let them do what they do, and everything will be good. Now, I understand they probably don't want to dream too big. Like, we would love 10 seasons of Arcane to get in all these cool details and lots of references to the game. That's probably not feasible, but maybe it is. Who
Unironically,
knows?
I don't think they'll do it. But if they did, I think it's the only franchise that you could actually get away with that
Oh, for
in.
sure.
Because I literally spelled out let me see, it's Piltover Zon, Bilgewater, Demacia, Noxus, The Void, the Shadow Isles, Ionia. That's 8 different locations,
Mhm.
2 of which are already getting 2 seasons worth of like development.
Yeah.
So if you can get 2 seasons worth out of 2 locations because of how crucially they're tied together, that means you could get at least another 2 seasons out of Ionia and Noxus alone, because they're butting heads constantly too.
Yeah.
And you might even be able to get 3 if you shove Demacia in there and do it simultaneously. You could buzz one season down. That's still 5 seasons, and that's only 5 of the 8 locations.
Yeah.
I think you have like a whole season or 2 with like the Shadow Isles.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not the Void, because the Void is literally just plant demon seed, watch monster grow.
Yeah.
You don't really need a season for that. You could do like
a mini arc within a season.
I think here's what I think. I think they'll put a season out for everything else. I think the Shadow Isles will be teased as a villain, but instead it will turn into just characters.
Yeah.
Like they'll sort of do like the Loki effect where like yes, it's a threat, but like it just needs a hug.
Yeah.
And then I think the Void will be the actual problem, because the Void is literally angry gods don't like that existence exists, so they try to kill it. And the Void is the Void is the cat they've released on our mouse. So I feel like that is probably what's going to be the final boss, if that's indeed the direction the show goes.
Mm-hmm. Well, lots to look forward to. Hopefully they kind of give us a little sprinkle of information throughout the year. But Casey is an old lady and she's ready to go to bed.
I have been ready to go to bed.
For like ever. So thank you, Wyatt, for coming on our podcast. We enjoy having you here. You'll see Wyatt in the future, I'm sure, often. You can find him. I'll leave his links somewhere on our social media or on Spotify if I can figure out how to do that. He's Piratekingboros on YouTube and on Twitch. He streams a lot, and Casey and I are normally there. So you can check him out there. You can follow Casey and I on social media, TikTok, Instagram. We post occasionally if we ever remember. Don't forget to do all the podcasty things down below. Subscribe, cheeky 5 stars because we're your favorite podcasts. And we will see you guys in the next episode. So goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Da, 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 da. Sorry.